In my hometown of Westboro, Massachusetts, technology is changing the way in which schools are operated. Using a platform similar to that of Blackboard, which is used at the college level, now students and parents can have access to all their information related to school online. But this is a major change for the school district and is being met with some concerns from teachers, parents, and students. To find out more about this platform, I sat down with Steve Masciarelli of the Westboro School District.
My name is Steve Masciarelli. I'm the media technologist. I work in the technology department for the Westboro Schools, and I have done so for the past 24 years.
So Steve, what is iPass?
Well, iPass is the product that we use as our student information database throughout the district. As a district, we gather lots of different information about not only our students, but about our staff and faculty, so that we can report out of either back to parents or we can report those data points back to the state. So some of it is state regulated and some of it is information that we report back to the parents through our iParent portal, which is a web-based portal that parents can log into to get information about their students, whether it be attendance or grades. We're using a product that the company is called IMG. They provide this database, this back-end database to school districts. They manage an active database for districts. So that the company is IMG. Their product is called iPass. iParent and iStudent are sort of subsets of the iParent student database.
Is iPass used at every grade level?
It depends. At our elementary levels, K to 6, it really is just the iParent portal. There is no iStudent component. So only parents are able to log in and see their students' trimester grades and attendance. As we get to the middle school, the iStudent component starts to come in where the students actually I take that back, right up to, they don't have the ability in middle school. At high school, we open up iStudent. So the students see a more detailed progress report or grade book than their parents do. Students get to see every assignment, what those grades look like, and how teachers grade them as far as tests, quizzes, effort, homework, and those sorts of things. Parents get to log in at progress report and report card time to see the student's overall alpha grade. So if a student had an 89, they would see a B plus in iParent. The students would actually see how they got to that 89, all the assignments, what they got for grades on an assignment by assignment basis. So actually the students see more.
How has iPass changed how teachers work?
It's very different than how we did things 4 and 5 years ago. We've started to require teachers to use the rank book component of this database so that we can report grades back. So there was some training that we had to do for our staff. A lot of teachers are using just Excel to keep grades, or they were keeping a regular rank book, on the teacher's desk. They would just keep grades that way. So philosophically, we had to get everybody from sort of a hodgepodge to buy into using the rank book, the online rank book, so that we could offer students a glimpse into the rank book and parents an overall grade.
Okay. Why the switch to iPass?
From a district standpoint, and this is my perspective, I think principals and maybe district leadership might have a different take on it, but I think the idea was that we were going to save time, our teachers' time. They would be more efficient in grading. Parents would get more information. Students would get more information in time about their assignments, and that it would encourage dialogue between students, parents, and teachers. And again, save resources. We're not printing out report cards. Students aren't hiding the report cards on parents. I think we became more transparent in doing this online. I think that those are some of the main reasons.
What are some positive and negative aspects of iPass?
I think the most difficult aspect has been to balance what parents are looking for, what the administration wanted to support and get behind, and sort of balance that. Our teachers were really reluctant to do this initially at the high school. That's been a difficult thing. to get them to buy into, if they did use Gradebook or Grade Quick or Excel or just like to do a hand copy of it. It was difficult for us. Anytime you ask a teacher to change the way they're doing things, that's always a struggle. And then teachers were obviously concerned about what parents would see, what students would see, how long they had to grade assignments. Were students going to be sitting at home hitting the refresh button to find out what they just got on their chemistry test? And I think all along the teachers have always felt like as long as this spurred that dialogue between parents and students and teachers, without putting more pressure on high school students, they would be in support of that. So I think we're in the midst of all of that. We're very early on in the process. And I don't think we've had enough time to let it all shake out. But, so far so good. Those are some of the pros and
As a parent, how do you feel about iPass since you have a student in the school system?
cons. As a parent, I do kind of like it at the high school level. I think, we can sort of see, where my son is in some of his classes and be able to, I think, be a little bit more proactive with teachers if we see things starting to slip. Teachers have a lot on their plates right now, and sometimes a student might fall through the cracks. And this is a way for us to say, hey, we've noticed, the past couple homeworks he's missed, or doesn't seem to be doing really as well on quizzes or tests. How can we get this righted before it's a problem, before progress report time or before report cards? So for me, there's some real benefit.
With students nearing college, do you think this will have an effect on how responsible and how independent the student can be, with the parent always watching over?
Interestingly, that's a concern of the faculty, is that we want our students to be independent. We want them to be responsible for their own academic paths and choices while we have them in high school, before we release them off to the next step in their lives and make them independent. I feel differently about my son, who's a freshman, than I probably would when he's a junior. But I think as a freshman, there's still that, some kids need that nurturing. I don't think kids have matured uniformly at that level. So, but you're right, that's the goal, is that we want them to be responsible for the choices they make, for the grades they get, for the conversations that happen between the teacher and the student. We'd love to happen at that level. You're spot on with your assessment that's something that teachers are really concerned about, is they want to have that dialogue with the student and make them be independent and make good choices, and then just report out a grade to the parents to let them know how they're doing. And those are all decisions that the faculty and administration have had to hammer out as to what parents are going to see and what students see. And that's why there's a difference. Parents only see a grade, students see a more detailed record of how they got to that grade.
With thousands of students' names and personal information on databases, are there any security concerns?
Initially, when we went to a student database that's done this way, it's web-based. All these companies are fully vetted as far as their security. We don't house the servers locally in our district. They're done off-site. They're redundant. The companies explained to us and assured us that we have that. The state has certain standards that they have to abide by, so we feel pretty comfortable in that aspect of it. The thing that we wrestle with is, because we have parents and students seeing two different things, there's a lot of sharing. Parents will ask students, hey, I want to see the detailed progress report. That's a bigger concern, is the sharing of that information, and when is it appropriate and when is it not. And those are things that I think we're just ironing out. But as far as the security of it, I think we feel pretty comfortable with that.
What is your overall impression of iPass?
Honestly, we started this fourth quarter of last year. So we've only had 3 report cards and 3 progress reports. So I think it's too early to tell.
Okay.
If we have this conversation a year from now, I think we'll have some more data. But it's hard to tell. I don't see us going back. We're not going to go back to a report card. It's how it's going to be. And if that is the case, if there's not as much dialogue, we're going to have to find ways to make those connections, to have those conversations at the high school level, because I think they're important for our students.